The rise of dating apps. Once upon a time, finding a romantic partner was an organic process rooted in happenstance and serendipity. You might meet your future spouse in a hallway at school, get introduced by mutual friends, or lock eyes across a crowded room. But in today's fast-paced, digitally obsessed world, the tried and true methods of yore have been disrupted by a novel approach: dating apps. With a few taps on a glowing screen, modern matchmaking technology opens up a vast pool of potential suitors, eliminating constraints of geography and circumstance. No longer are singles limited to the handful of prospects they may organically encounter during their daily routines. Fueled by soaring user adoption and brilliant gamification tactics, the once antiquated quest for love has transformed into a lucrative billion-dollar enterprise dominated by a single corporate titan. At the core of this modern love movement lies a fundamental psychological shift, a transition from the emotional vulnerability of traditional courtship to a detached, numbers-driven game of physical attraction. Dating apps have reframed the process through spectacular user experiences centered on high volumes of rapid-fire romantic vetting. Gone are the days of filling out lengthy questionnaires to methodically narrow one's pool of potential partners based on alignment of values, lifestyles, and goals. Tinder, pioneering the love industry. Instead, Tinder revolutionized the space by making the entire undertaking feel like a low-stakes lark, a diversion as mindless and addictive as a mobile game. With a simple swipe, users render quick judgments based primarily on photographs and brief biographical snippets. Match or unmatch, that's the only choice required in this frictionless experience designed to maximize volume over depth of human connection. The genius lies in distilling the complex, emotionally fraught arena of romantic pursuit into a framework devoid of gravitas. Users curate bite-sized digital ambassadors meant to convey their most attractive qualities through a few photos and quippy bullet points. From the comfort of one's couch, people seamlessly cycle through a virtually endless carousel of prospective partners, rendered in sleek dating profile cards. Ghosting, catfishing, and outright deception are simply the unavoidable taxes one pays to participate in this exchange. With its gamified swiping interface and brilliantly harnessed psychology of random rewards, Tinder pioneered an addictive user experience carefully engineered to maximize time on platform. Like the infernal allure of the Las Vegas slot machines that forever altered the gambling industry, Tinder injects dopamine-triggering unpredictability into each swipe session. Matches are strategically revealed at random intervals to ensure continual engagement and retention. The driving force? Optionality. That seductive chimera promising a stream of new romantic possibilities awaiting just one more swipe away. While human beings are fundamentally imperfect creatures, Tinder preys upon our continual discontentment, the nagging fear that by committing, we are somehow settling for an inferior option that pales compared to the tantalizingly unknowable prospects just over the horizon. Through savvy applied psychology and a masterful grasp of gamification principles, Tinder captivated a generation. But as with any phenomenally successful novel product, imitators quickly flooded the space. Soon, a dizzying array of niche dating apps catered to every conceivable subset of the population, websites and apps dedicated to particular orientations, religious creeds, even specific occupational fields. One titan, however, stood alone in unifying this increasingly fragmented landscape under a single corporate umbrella. Match Group, dominating the market. Long before the first modern dating app graced our smartphone screens, Match Group underwent a remarkable transformation of its own. From its humble beginnings as a respectable pre-Google search engine in the early 2000s, the company deftly evolved into a local services provider in the mid-2010s, before ultimately emerging as the global juggernaut and category leader for online romance in the 2020s. Through canny acquisitions and calculated introductions of new features, Match Group steadily subsumed the competition. Dating behemoths like Match.com, OkCupid, and Plenty of Fish were absorbed into a vast holding company that came to encompass virtually every prominent name in the space, from Tinder to Hinge to The League. While nominally distinct brands with unique value propositions and target audiences, this entire constellation of prominent dating platforms became unified under a single, thriving corporate overlord. How did this colossus achieve such market dominance? By recognizing that romantic connection fundamentally stems from two key factors: psychology and volume. The advent of dating apps fulfilled the latter prerequisite, exponentially expanding the available pool of potential partners. Match Group then focused its efforts on continually iterating its various app experiences to masterfully leverage psychological principles for user engagement and monetization. On the engagement front, the previously discussed gamification ploys proved spectacular successes. But driving bottom-line revenue growth required a subtler strategy, deeply rooted in humankind's insatiable thirst for optionality. While Match Group cunningly offered its various platforms and services for free use, tiered subscription models provided gateways to enhanced functionality and greater optionality. With every new bell, whistle, and power-up rolled out across the Match Group network, came increased visibility into hotter, more exclusive user subsets, each shallow added feature playing upon the fear of overlooking the one by holding out for someone even more alluring just around the corner. From Tinder Plus to Tinder Platinum, every iterative premium tier sold the tantalizing promise of expanded romantic possibilities for those willing to pay a modest subscription fee. The revenue numbers prove this strategy highly lucrative, with Tinder alone grossing nearly $2 billion in 2024. But Match Group's conquest extends far beyond Tinder. Even the company's more niche apps and legacy websites targeting relationships over casual hookups employ identical psychological tactics and premium monetization principles as their swipe-focused peers. Apps like Hinge and OkCupid have steadily gained traction among demographics seeking more serious commitment. But whether hunting for a spouse or simply a sultry Saturday night fling, Match Group has devised methods to transform that craving for optionality into cold, hard cash, all while maintaining a lively revolving door of new prospects to fuel the cycle. This addictive dynamic has proven phenomenally lucrative. In the decade since pioneering the freemium model for online dating, Match Group's year-over-year earnings have skyrocketed upwards of $3 billion. Staggering numbers indeed, but merely the beginning according to company leadership. With over half of American singles and 70% globally still not leveraging dating apps, Match Group sees ample runway to further penetrate the market and addict more of the world's population to its services. Such success numbers beg the question: in disrupting anachronistic dating methodologies with apps focused on optionality and instantaneous physical attraction, has society ultimately lost something profound? Critics contend these technologies diminish humanity's emotional intelligence and capacity for deeper connection. They argue that by turning romantic pursuit into a numbers game measured in potential swiped per minute, apps deprive us of a larger truth: that real, lasting love often arrives quietly through patience, reflection, and opening oneself to contentment with what already lies at hand. The human psyche longs for scarcity as a salve to the anxiety wrought by abundant choice. In that blissfully ignorant state, receptive to happenstance, our guardedly optimistic ancestors found deep fulfillment in monogamous partnership. But the optionality illusion perpetuated by Match Group erode such introspection and satisfaction. Their platforms relentlessly bombard us with a never-ending stream of visually optimized profile mates tailored precisely to our turn-ons and filters. As engagement soars, doubts creep in. What if my unwavering commitment today deprives me of a superior romantic option just a few swipes away? This psychological sleight of hand fuels Match Group's growth as more humans remain perpetually restless and non-committal, always on the hunt for someone arguably better, despite already being matched with perfectly acceptable, even wonderful partners. An entire generation becomes inured to casual serial monogamy, devoid of true emotional investment. Yet, for all of humanity's nobler yearnings, we remain biologically predisposed to superficial physical attractions. Here lies the genius of Match Group's strategies. By deploying customized algorithms to scientifically optimize its platforms for displaying each user's most photogenic attributes and brief biographical highlights, the corporation pragmatically meets humans where we are as flawed, imperfect beings, easily wooed by glossy exteriors over deeper substance. Viewed through that lens, Match Group doesn't corrupt our species' romantic ideals. It simply converts our basal impulses into lucrative business efficiencies tailored for the instantaneous gratification mindset of the 21st century. Morality and existential hand-wringing need not apply in this merciless world of app optimization. The business of love, psychology, and volume. So while the naysayers tally society's emotional deficits wrought by the dating app model, the revenue totals keep swelling for Match Group. $400 million in the early days of Tinder in 2017, ballooning to $1.7 billion just 4 years later as new paid features were introduced. Swipe night social video experiences, Instagram-style filters and loops, curated daily top picks, an ever-expanding suite of enhanced premium capabilities designed to maximize optionality and fuel fear of missing out, all driving customers towards more expensive subscription and a la carte consumption tiers. At the close of 2023, Match Group celebrated around $3.57 billion in total revenue and a staggering $1.9 billion from Tinder alone. 15 million accumulated paid users collectively spent an average of $15.73 monthly. The segment growth mirrors worldwide proliferation, with America providing 50% of earnings, Europe clocking in around 30%, and the rapidly expanding Asian market over 20%. All told, Match Group is an operational juggernaut, boasting 70% gross margins and a lean 30% operating expenditure model. For some, these astronomical figures equate to a collective delusion wrought by an appified, instantaneous gratification-obsessed society infected by dwindling attention spans. For Match Group leadership, the data reveal a successful playbook still in its opening chapters. With well over half the global singles population still offline, ample room remains to further monetize and gamify Earth's lonely hearts in the decades ahead. As the dating colossus gears up for its next phase of expansion and innovation, one fundamental reality appears irrefutable. Just as Facebook redefined social media and TikTok reimagined short-form video content, the world of online romantic connections has fallen under monopolistic domination by one colossal and fiercely adaptive corporate parent, Match Group. Now let's have a look on the dark side of online dating. Dark side of online dating. One major issue is the way dating apps are designed to capitalize on loneliness and exploit people's desires for connection. Their monetization tactics prey on lonely individuals, especially men, who face an oversupply of male users on the apps. Studies show dating apps have lopsided gender ratios, with Tinder being 75% men, Hinge 64% men, and Bumble 76% men. This skewed ratio means most men struggle to get matches compared to women. Dating apps take advantage of this by selling premium subscriptions that promise features like more visibility, added information about who liked your profile, and boosted placement. The pricing for these premium plans is exorbitant, with Tinder even offering an ultra-exclusive Tinder Select tier that costs $500 per month, accessible to less than 1% of users. There are also obvious safety risks. Too many scary stories of dating app meetups turning violent or even deadly when what seemed harmless went terribly wrong once two strangers met up. Every time you swipe right, there's a small but unsettling possibility that the carefully constructed dating profile you see doesn't accurately represent who that person truly is. But the dangers go beyond just physical harm. These apps are designed to provide doses of validation that reinforce obsessive swiping behavior. Constantly matching and judging self-worth based on your romantic scorecard can breed addictive tendencies, discontentment, and emptiness. No matter how many new potential partners you see, it never satisfies the craving that the app's clever designs create. Lastly, privacy worries lurk in the background. What invisible processes govern these apps' inscrutable AI-powered matchmaking algorithms? How might our most personal, intimate data ultimately get misused by these powerful dating corporations? Drawing upon disciplines spanning user psychology, gamification, data science, and ruthless monetization strategies, this titan of the dating industrial complex mints billions by stripping love of its emotional idealism and reframing romance as a frictionless transaction of physical attraction and abundance of choice. Match Group may not have invented the science of matchmaking, but it has perfected the lucrative alchemy of transforming human yearning for companionship into pure, bottom-line boosting economic value. While sociologists and poets alike lament the diminishing mystery of courtship in a world dominated by swipe judgments and automated compatibility scores, one truth remains clear and dispassionate. Through endless permutations of app-enabled optionality and immersive dopamine-triggering experiences, Match Group has solidified its stranglehold over an anthropological universal craved by all cultures throughout human history: romantic validation, sexual intimacy, and the age-old quest to be desired. By synthesizing big data, computational modeling, and motivational psychology into highly addictive user experiences, the organization simultaneously liberates us from traditional constraints while fueling restless pursuit of grass perennially greener on the other side of one's mobile device. Romance itself may always remain a mystically elusive concept, but generating steady revenue streams by gamifying that human aspiration? Match Group has efficiently cracked that code through ruthless innovation. As we wrap up this video, one thing is clear: software and AI have an immense capacity to catalyze business growth. If exponential growth is your goal, we can help make it a reality. Innovation, excellence, satisfaction. At Idea Usher, these values drive our app development services from start to finish. With a track record of delivering exceptional apps that resonate with audiences, we stand by our commitment to excellence. Our innovative solutions, client-centric approach, and agile methods set us apart. Whether you need an app concept brought to life or to elevate an existing app, rely on our full-cycle development services for app success. Work with the leading experts who keep innovation, excellence, and your satisfaction at the forefront. Bring your mobile vision into the future with Idea Usher. Contact us today to get started on your next innovative app development project.